So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. I got to check the time, make sure I don't go too far. So we have an incredible area manager retreat every year. And last year, we moved it back. We used to do it in Oklahoma City years ago. And we moved it back to Oklahoma City last year. And we're going back to Oklahoma City literally 2 days. This event ends 2 days before my 50th birthday. So we're going back to Oklahoma City this summer. And guys, why Oklahoma? Well, first of all, it's in the middle of the country. It's super accessible for all of our team to get to. That's always nice. But the main reason is because our lineage that we come from is there. Like the legacy that is this success line that we're a part of, Nita Irwin, Martha McIntyre, Carlita Nelson, Cecilia Stoll's a sideline to us, Linda Parker's a sideline to us. They all live in the same area in Oklahoma City. And so we have the opportunity not only to connect with them, but you're going to have opportunities to be in someone's home and see, you know, where they live and get to be a part of that. Like, guys, you do not want to miss this retreat. So you might be wondering, Beth, how do I get to this retreat? You have to be an area manager by July 1st. So the registration is the retreat starts Friday, ends late Saturday night. We've got a killer rate on the hotel. It's only $106 for all of us to share 4 to a room. Actually, you could put 6 people in a room at the Embassy Suites. It has 2 beds and a couch that pulls out. And it's a killer rate to split. And you guys, the retreat cost is only $145. That includes all your meals. The early bird cost does expire on June 1st, so you want to get your registration in. So if you promote by July 1st, you get charged the early bird rate. But guys, we want to help you promote, but I don't want to just help you promote. I want to help you bring people with you to this retreat. I'm part of the planning committee on this retreat, and one of my favorite parts is Saturday night. We are totally having an 80s party. And there's some fun things that are going on with that, but I'm already planning my outfit for that night. It's going to be so fun. You'll see Beth's alter ego. And definitely I didn't look like that in the 80s, but it's always fun to put a wig on. So you want to be at this retreat. So how do we do it? Well, let's talk about it. So we've got, first thing I want to talk about before I turn to this slide is we've got to get real with ourselves. And what I want to challenge you to do is to just get raw and real right now. Like, I want you to not think about what the kids are doing, what's going on outside, what you have to do the rest of the day, what you've got going on this week. Be with me in this moment right now and ask yourself, am I coachable? Because I have seen in my business that the key for me and the people I'm helping, there's a massive change in their trajectory when the one person goes from fighting the system and like, oh, I'm gonna do it my way, you don't know what you're talking about, to I am totally moldable and shapeable to what you wanna do with me. Like, we wanna be a lump of clay. And guys, I know that that takes total trust, but please know from the bottom of my heart and all your VPs, we're not going to steer you wrong. Like, we don't want harm to come to you. We want to help you grow and grow and grow and succeed. So ask yourself that question, am I coachable? And what does that mean? That means, like, do you have kind of like a personal argument with yourself when, or if you say, I just know what they're going to say, I'm not going to call them. I don't want to hear what they have to say because I don't want to have to do that. Someone who's become coachable and who has made a decision, like the decision is set in stone, I'm growing my business, becomes coachable. They become palatable. They become moldable. They're like, I'll be with you wherever you are. It's like they connect themselves to your hip. And it's crazy too, because someone who becomes coachable also becomes more independent. It's crazy, like that they're not as needy in the things that they need to have, and very like going for it regardless. And so I just want to challenge you. The first thing I want to say is being coachable is going to be the key to getting to area and beyond over the next few months. And it's also going to be the key to, quite honestly, getting to the top of this company and sustaining it. So just ask yourself that. And if you're curious if you're coachable, shoot your sponsor a text, and only do this if you want to get the, you know, the raw, honest truth. But you could shoot them a text saying, do you think I'm coachable? And it's going to be hard, you know, if you're not, but they'll answer you. And the good part is that's going to be a great launch pad for you. So the next step is let's plan to succeed. Oh gosh, guys, think on paper, print out a calendar. I know we have folding calendars, and I know a lot of you use this, and there's nothing wrong with your calendar being on your phone. But I think it's smart to have a large calendar too. I know my son and daughter-in-law have a paper calendar that has their entire schedule on it. So they live on that calendar. When my kids were growing up, we had a big family calendar, and the kids, it was their responsibility to put their events into that. But guys, what I want you to do is print out a paper calendar. This is just an example. See how I posted like all the noon huddle days. I posted the, oh, I forgot to put like our Monday night calls and stuff like that for clients, because we have healthy living opportunities for customers to be on tonight. We have a Discover Arbonne tonight for your prospects to get on. Then we have wherever you live, like here, my local monthly meeting is tomorrow night. We have Zooms on Wednesday nights, and then we have 7:30 a.m. book club call on Saturdays. But you see, what you want to do is you want to put once you put in your entire work schedule, all the non-negotiables, like, you know, if you're going to be gone for a weekend, if you don't want to do any events on Sundays or any one-on-ones, cross them out. Guys, you are in control of your calendar does not control you. And I have found that when folks feel frazzled about what they need to do, that's when their calendar is controlling them. And once they put it on paper, they have more. It doesn't mean that chaos isn't there. I just believe that we can have peace in the midst of chaos. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe there's such a thing as balance, to the point of like, where we feel at balance and one with the earth or whatever. I believe that there is a thing as such as peace in the midst of chaos. And because there's never going to be a time in our life when we don't have a lot of things going on. It's all about how we handle things and how we respond to things. And if we respond to things correctly, things are going to go, it'll feel smooth, but we'll still be crazy busy at the same time. So, but when you have your calendar printed out, you know what your available time slots are. So like right here, you see me, I'm starting to put in, these would be available time slots. You know, I love that Mo Boger shared with us recently. She, you know, worked like 100 hours a week with commute. And so she could only do parties 2 Saturdays a month, and she wanted to execute 8 a month. And so she would do 4 on those Saturdays. She did 4 parties, guys, 2 Saturdays a month, but it got it done. She went nation. So it's just thinking on paper, put in your available time slots. And the other thing we do when we plan to succeed, because don't expect Area and Beyond to happen without planning. When we plan to succeed, we sit down and talk with our sponsor. We have our information out. We've got our 100% contact list done. We are like ready to rock and roll. When, you know, luck is when opportunity meets up with preparation. Luck just doesn't happen. When we see somebody succeed, we think they're just lucky. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say that. They're just lucky. They're just lucky. It must have been a lucky year for them. No, guys, there was preparation. They had their action plan filled out, preparation, and opportunity. They were ready to rock and roll. And because they were ready to rock and roll, they were looking and for people. And then boom, they start talking to people. And because they have their calendar ready, they're not going, oh, I don't know when I could do an event. I'm not sure when I can sit down for a one-on-one. They're like, hey, I got Tuesday at 5. Does that work for you? Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, I could do that. Like, it's just being smart. It's just having things ready for you as you plan your time out. The third thing I want to say is not this, so I'll take that off right now because I don't have a slide for it. The third thing I want to say is fall in love with the process. I read this in my prayer devotional book that I read every day, and he said, focus on the footnotes and God will write the headlines. I love that, because what happens is we actually spend too much time maybe thinking about the title. I mean, you know, how many of you have sat down and, you know, maybe envisioned what it's going to be like when you walk across the stage as a regional vice president? I want you to do that. I don't want you not to do that. But sometimes we daydream instead of really dreaming. Daydreaming is one thing. Dreaming and making that dream a reality means we take it out of this and we put it into action. So fall in love with the process. And what does that mean? That's the daily dues, our 5 and 15. 5 new reach outs a day with 15 follow-ups a day. Maybe yours has looked a little different and you like to do 10 new reach outs a day. Whatever it is, guys, when we focus on a daily activity that will move us forward, and we decide we're going to eat the frog, which we're not going to eat a frog, but you know, if you eat the frog first, then your day is freed up. If you do your reach outs and you get the hard stuff done first, you're going to feel like you can conquer the world. And I'm not kidding. Like, I know in my own life, when I do that, I'm like, who's next? Like, who's out there that needs Arbonne? Like, I'm superwoman right now, because I did my reach outs. When I wait till 10:55 p.m. at night to do my reach outs because I'm just like, oh, I could do it later. Oh, I could do it later. And then I'm like at 10:55, I was stressed out the whole day anticipating the fear of sending my reach outs. But when I'm like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done, sent. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sent. Ooh, I might have sent somebody a text. Then it's like you're unstoppable throughout the day. So focus on the process, and the process is what we do every day. It will grow you. It will bring the title. It will bring the success, and God will be writing your story. And you guys, also part of our process is the 40 faces. You know, years ago, a district manager on our team, she would print out 2 40 faces sheets, and I love this. There's a training about it on my YouTube channel where she talks about it. One sheet is her filling in the people she actually had conversations with, and the other sheet was the one she was too scared to have the conversation with. And so she's like, I would look at that sheet, like the people who she wouldn't break through her fear to talk to. And she's like, I started to notice a difference in how much one was growing over the other. And she said it was a wake-up call for me. So that's a good idea. Print 2 of those sheets out, and then I'm gonna sneeze. No, it went away. Excuse me. And then you can compare. But we want to have 40 faces filled out. And if you're like ready to like kick it up a notch, go for 60. I mean, guys, we can knock 40 faces out of the park in the first week or the first 2 weeks. Like double it. You want to know what these young girls who are going region in 2.5 months are doing? They're doing 80 to 100, guys, faces. They're not stopping with 40. They're not going for 8 fit kits. They're going for 19 to 32. And that's the same thing we can do. And so the next thing I want to say is the 4th point is to know that it takes new to do anything. If you've been looking at your team going, I'm waiting for them to get on board so I can go area. I have 3 consultants in my district and I'm waiting for them to do something. Guys, stop waiting and go sponsor a new. If you're an area manager and you're waiting, I just know these districts are gonna go into area qual. Guys, stop waiting and go find new. If you're a regional vice president that's doing the same thing, like I just want these people to get it before I can go nation. Guys, stop waiting and go do it. Go ahead, be the one that runs ahead, and the ones that are gonna do it are gonna chase after you. The ones who don't wanna do it aren't. And it's okay, and I'm letting you guys know right now, it's totally okay. It's not that we're gonna leave them in the dust, but we're gonna love on them where they're at. And I have people in my business right now that I know will be VPs in my business this year, and maybe even NVPs this year, who've been in my business for a long time, and they are just booming right now. They are like, and they are somebody that I sponsored, 8 years ago, but today they're rocking and rolling and they're going. But I didn't wait for that. Like I loved them where they were at, stayed connected to them, loved on them through the years, and now they're just ready to go crazy boom. So it's important that we know that to get to the next level, it will 100% take new people into your business at all times. Even if you were like in crazy momentum, new people. Like if you were to look at my business, what it looked like when I went district to area, the people, there were 3 people with me well, more than 3, but 3 like that were working that I went area. 2 of those 3 were done before I even finished area qual. One of those people was in my business 6 months later when I went region. The rest of that group that when I went region came after that, right? So it was all new. And then if you look at my business from region to nation, same thing. And then if you look at my business today, and if you look back at my nation picture was right up here on the wall, you're gonna only recognize a couple people in that photo. So it's important that we focus on new. And then the next thing is I'll show the next slide. That's where I was heading, is we got to raise the bar, and I'm going to wrap it up in just a minute, but we have to raise the bar. So for all the consultants and districts and areas and everybody who's on this call right now, sometimes what a consultant will tell me is, I don't know how to say that because I've never done that before. Like I've never done first step area in my first month. That's okay, neither did I. Like I didn't do it either, but it doesn't mean that we can't cast the vision for someone else to do it, because people do it all the time. People do it every month. People go district in 1 month all the time. People go region in 2.5 months. People go nation, and now, 5 months broke a record, but people will go nation within a year. And that, what that just tells me is that it's possible. It tells me that if they can do it, Anybody can do it in Arbonne, but we've got to raise the bar in our vision. So if you're sitting with a new person and you say, gosh, let's try to get you to 1,000 this month. That's not raising the bar. We want to ask them, what are your goals? Ask, what is it that you need? And like, I like to show these average incomes. There have been lots of times I've taken a napkin and written these out on the napkin. Like, which one does your family need yesterday? I will tell you guys, most people say area manager. Almost, I would say 8 times out of 10 people tell me area manager. Then there's those folks that say, seriously, an extra $500 a month would literally transform my family's life, like literally transform my family's life. So it is up to me. My next question is another ask. Okay, great. Do you mind if I show you how to do that? And guys, like I said, even if you're a brand new consultant, you can do this, because all it is showing them how to find a team, because that's what's next, is we're going to show them. Like if somebody says they need area manager, my next thing is I start drawing circles. So it looks like I'm probably drawing like a funny octopus, is I start drawing circles like that. And those circles are, I'm like, and then what I'm doing with them is I'm like, who do you want on your team? And I'm filling the circles in that name. Hey, let's reach out to them right now. Oh gosh, Beth, that's crazy. Come on, let's just reach out to them right now. I'll help you send a text. Let's see if we can get this ball rolling for you. So it's so important to raise the bar, because you never know. You never know. I've had a lot of people do first step area in their first month. And guys, I cast the vision. If they grab it, if they take that, thing and run with it, great. If they don't, they're at least going to go district, because that's my goal, is at least get them to district manager in their first month. But if I start with 1,000, where do I go from there? I'm like way down here. But if I start with 10, casting that vision, they're at least going to be district manager, if not first step area. But if they don't hit district, they're at least going to go into strong district qual, get that cash bonus at $2,500, and get a really good check. And so that's the end of my slideshow, so I'll stop sharing that. And the last thing I want to say is success is inconvenient. So if you're waiting for kind of everything to align to move your business forward, like the right schedule, because sometimes if you find yourself saying, that goal doesn't work as much as I do, guys, success is inconvenient. There's not going to be a moment in your business where everything aligns for you to have the perfect timing to do this. Success is built in the inconvenient times when we have to get up early, an hour early, and stay up an hour late, whatever it might have to be. The cool thing is everything we get to do today, like the trainings and stuff, can be listened to wherever we go, in the car, or when we're putting our makeup on. I think Whitney's putting her makeup on and she's listening to the Zoom right now. She's getting ready to go out, but she's training herself. Other people would have said, I don't have time to get on the Zoom. I need to get my makeup on. But because she knows success is inconvenient, that you do this in the nooks and crannies when you're already doing something else. So it's so important to know that, and be a new you. I will tell you, a perspective change is everything. A gal on Cassidy's team shared like a quick YouTube video with us this morning, and I think most of the VPs shared it, and I'll share it on the Nation page too. I think it's about 8 minutes long, but I was like bawling. I was like, thank God I didn't put my makeup on already. I mean, but this guy talked about what a perspective change does. A perspective changes everything. So decide today that you're going to be a new you. And what that means is you're going to develop yourself. You're going to grow. You're going to get your master's, quote unquote, in personal growth and development, and not the master's they offer at school. You're just going to become a different person today. You're not going to be the same person. That's so fun about what Arbonne is. I'm not the same person I was in January of 2004. I'm completely different, completely different. So get that big vision so you have a perspective change. And guys, how many people, I want you guys to write this down for your personal use, what your goal is on March 31st. And I want you to send it to your, so write down what your goal is for March 31st. And then I want you to write, how many people do I want to take with me to Oklahoma City in July? And then I want you to send it to your RVP. I want to help hold you accountable and send it to your RVP. So really quick, like I shared at the beginning of the call, we have a brand new regional vice president with us on the call today. And I actually asked Cassidy, since we're talking about growing, that area manager retreat last summer was her first area manager retreat, and I know it blew her vision wide open, and helping her see where her business was going to go. And she's going this year as a new regional vice president. So Cassidy, what are like 3 things you would say have been crucial in your business? Like you've been on this journey for just over 12 months. What are some things that have been crucial on your journey to helping grow to the next level?
Okay, can you guys hear me? Asher, maybe screaming and pounding on stuff in the background, so it's okay. Let's see. The first one for sure, I feel like this is what I literally tell everyone, and I feel like it's just like a broken record, but just do the do's. Like, you guys, the system is laid out for you to walk on, and it's up to you. Like, it's literally up to you if you're gonna do it or not. No one can make you do it. I can't make you do your reach outs each day. I can't hold your hand and help you send those. Sometimes I can, but once you're past that, month or two mark, that's up to you, and that's on you. And this is your business, and this is, like I was saying, just really and truly up to you. And I think that was a huge mindset shift that happened for me in the summer. Coming back from the area manager retreat, all the new RVPs were talking, and every single one of them was like, I did my daily dues, I read books, I listened to trainings, and here I am, And I remember I was kind of reading at that point, but not like religiously every single day. I was listening to trainings and stuff, but I wasn't like every single day reading my, 10, 15 pages. And I remember like getting back into the room, and I'm like, really, all I have to do is read? Like, I'm doing every other thing. Like, all I have to do is read books. Like, okay, I can do that. And I just dove into books. I dove into trainings. But you guys, this past summer was a really, really hard summer in my business. So many people quit. I felt like that this was not working at all. And I don't remember who said this, but this quote like has helped me so much. But it's when nothing is happening, everything is happening. And that quote has transformed my business, because I think a lot of the times we're doing the do over and over, and we're like, what's going on? Why is this not working? How is this not happening? But you guys, I can truthfully and honestly tell you, I do the do every single day. I am someone that just gets up. I have my to-do list ready. I have my reach outs, the exact people I'm reaching out with that day, and I do it and I get it done. And I know that's why I'm a regional vice president, is because I do that every single day. But when you're doing that consistently over and over and you don't see fruit from that yet, it's really hard and it's really discouraging and can make you feel like this isn't working. And don't let that creep in, because it's not true at all. And just know that what we do and what you do this month, it may not come to reward you right away, but it will at some point. It 100% will. And that summer, not even summer really. I feel like October was the month I truly decided. And within 2 months, we were in region qual. And so it's totally just up to you. I know these are like not tips at all, and it's not what you want to hear, because I remember I'd listened to all the trainings and I'm like, what is it? Tell me what it is and I'll do it. And it's just get out your sheets, write out people, and talk to literally anyone and everyone. I had my husband, I felt like I had talked to everyone. Like, you should see, I have papers everywhere in my house with names and checking this person and this, like talking to tons of people and feeling like, oh shoot, like there's not enough people. And I want you to literally like erase that from your brain. There are enough people. There's tons. You have plenty of people to talk to. And I would never let myself say that. And if I would think that in my brain, I'd stop myself and encourage myself, like, okay, go follow someone new on Instagram. Go look through your husband's Facebook friends. Go ask one of your friends for referrals. And that's what I did. I went through all of Nate's Facebook friends. He had 1,000. I went through all of them. They all heard about Arbonne. I went through my friends' friends, asked them for referrals. So many girls are on my team because they were a referral from someone else. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I didn't ask that person to refer me to people? You know, she would not be in my business. And so just know that like Beth knows what she's talking about. Like what she's saying is not just, she's not just saying this and you don't just hear it over and over for her to just be annoying and say it. Like that's not why she says it. That's not why we tell you to do your reach outs and read the books. Like this business, it's so crazy to me because it's so simple. I'm like, I guess you could say I'm like a pretty person. Like I try not to complain about things and just do them. And that's just what I want to encourage you guys to do. We're all in crazy seasons of life, but this business, it fits into everything. It fits in. You just have to make the time for it. I remember even after I had Asher, like I was sitting and breastfeeding and doing my reach outs. And now with voice texting, you guys, like I do those all the time. And it's definitely not easy, like Beth was saying, but it's so worth it. Like yesterday I got so emotional. I'm not an emotional person really either, but I got so emotional yesterday and was like bawling and was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. I really quickly, I was going through my calendar. And I don't know if you guys can see this or if it'll pop up, but okay. So can you guys see that? Can you see colors at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so the green on, this is my husband and I's calendar. The green on there shows Arbonne things I'm doing, okay? So that's either like discover Arbonne's, I'm going to like meet with someone, events, whatever. So that's September, okay? You can kind of see them. Then you start to get down here, see all these green? This is when I decided to go region. Then it like blows up in November. Then December, the month I went region, you guys, it was insane. It was December. It was Christmas. I feel like I didn't even know what happened during Christmas. I'm like, I gotta go region ball. Like, I'm stressing out. And then January, a ton of green. And then last month, a ton of green. And so when you decide, you'll know. When you decide, your calendar will explode with events, and you'll do what you gotta do to get those on your calendar. If you haven't decided, your calendar will probably look a little empty, or it'll probably look like maybe an event here and an event there. But when you decide, I don't know what happens. You just, like everyone says, you just decide and make it happen. Like I said, I wish I had like 3 perfect tips or whatever, but it's not. It's just, I feel like this is what, it's up to you. You just gotta do it. But on the other side of it, the discipline and the work and the busy, event after event after event is so worth it. There would be nights I would literally be so physically exhausted, and I'm like, I cannot do another Discover Arbonne presentation. I even told a lady the other day, I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is my 4th time I've done this presentation. And so I'm going to try my best to make this not like I'm just talking to the screen. Like, I'm going to try my best to really interact with you. And she was like, oh my gosh. But, now I can do the presentation with my eyes closed, and that's where we all should be in our business. And so, yeah, that's all I had to share. You guys can totally 100% do it. I was someone who never thought I could. I never thought I could do it, and I had to change my mindset in that as well. You're totally capable, and that this business is not easy. Like, it's not easy, but the things we do are easy. Like, if I told you, if you reach out to 5 people every single day for a year, you'll be a regional vice president, would you do it? Like, yes, that's the answer. And that's what I told myself. I'm like, okay, if I do 5 reach outs and 15 check-ins every single day for an entire year, if I get to be a regional vice president, if I get to make $5,000 a month, if I get to drive a white Mercedes and get to stay at home with my son and retire my husband soon, I would do that. And that's what is getting to happen, but it's because of work I've put in the past year. But that's all I had. I know those were not top tips or whatever, but
no, they were perfect, because it goes right
yeah.
along with the whole thing of success is inconvenient. It's I think sometimes people, they see our highlights and they see our highlight reels on social media. Oh, how cute she is, how this, how that. But you guys, I mean, what I saw over the last year is, as Cassidy's sponsor and upline, is the hard stuff, like the people quitting, the people, I mean, my gosh, some of the mean text messages that she would get about, the business and things like that. And I think that that's what shuts most people down, is that part. But the rewards far outweigh any of that. It's just, we have to be willing to get beyond that part of what somebody's going to think of me. And if you guys aren't reading Ego is the Enemy, like, go online and buy it now and devour it. And that's what we've been doing in our book club. You can go back and listen to all the trainings on Carlita's YouTube page. But I'm telling you, like, it's all about, like, when we worry about what someone's going to think, it's all about ego. It's our ego that's driving us. We've given ego a foothold in our life, and nobody likes the word ego, right? We never think of it as being ego, but it is. And Cassidy, thank you so much for sharing. That was awesome.